here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this magnificent Monday here in Connecticut. What a way to start a week. Anyway, had an odd morning. I've done no kettlebell. It was raining out. I didn't even get out for a walk, much less a ride or a run. You see the sun is out, and I will get to the run later. But as of right now, I'm fresh as a daisy. Haven't done a thing. So we'll see how that prevails. But you saw the thumbnail. The best pick mouthpiece ever designed, the 1SB. And I don't talk about this nearly enough. And I don't think I've talked about it ever, quite frankly. But I'll let you know about that. Let me honk, see what we got. Bodes well, campers. Let's see what we got. With ease, man. That was locked in. Okay. Let's do a little pick, and I'll explain what I'm talking about. How's that for warm-up? Life's good. Anyway, I talk endlessly about the 1SB. And if you don't have one, guys, not only, like all my books, and I put up the SFE for trumpet over the weekend too. Great, great, great tool in your toolbox for all trumpet players, especially if you don't want to do kettlebells. All right? The 1SB. And the 1SB with a cornet shank. Okay, now, here's the deal. Our boy Piccolo ordered a cornet shank for a project he's doing, and I'll let you know when that project is comes to fruition. But anyway, quick glitch. So Piccolo and the cornet shank, the 1SB cornet shank. He's got a project coming up with a cornet. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a Bobby Hackett type of thing. I don't know. I will let you know when it comes up, and we'll all support the endeavor, whatever it is. But he just said in passing, he said, "No, I need it for cornet. I hate playing pick." What are you talking about? Pick is fun, man. And I realized he never played pick on a 1SB. Now, check this out. Now, with his work, I can see where there is no call for a pick whatsoever. All right, that's number one. So why waste time trying to, get some semblance of virtuosity on this difficult instrument? And we'll get to that in a minute. All right. But anyway, the deal is this. Up until the 1SB, guys, I could never do that. What I just did, go from the B flat to the pick with no warm-up. It's the same mouthpiece except for the shank. And I will get to that. I'm not even sure if there are any Piccolos made anymore that just take the regular B-flat mouthpiece. Getson? I don't know. But with that said, most of them, the Yamaha, the Shilky, you need a cornet shank. Now, back in the day, I got called to quite a bit of Piccolo stuff, quite a bit of Piccolo stuff. I had several of the cathedrals in Manhattan in the 5 boroughs locked up. Did a lot of church work. And there was a handful of Piccolo stuff on Broadway. Cats, to name one. Anyway, I did quite a bit of work. And even back then, even with Jerry, even with excellent chops, double C's the whole 9 years, I used a different mouthpiece for the pick than I did B flat. Okay? The fact of the matter is, it's half the size. So obviously you're going to get a different compression backflow than you would with a B flat trumpet. Duh. But not only back then did it take a different mouthpiece, I always felt that you had to play it because of that backflash. You had to play it in a different way. And not getting into it, Perico, I bet that's what he was talking about. Now, I know he was brought up in a very classical way and morphed into the commercial and jazz later on. I can only think that that's the problem. Now, here's another thing to think about. Vacchiano hated the Piccolo. He thought Maurice was a charlatan. He did. Salmon, it's just a small mouthpiece and a toy for an instrument. Now, I disagreed with him about the Maurice stuff. Maurice was a virtuoso no matter what trumpet he was handing, okay? But I do understand where Vacchiano was coming from. Back then, the Piccolo trumpets that were available, there weren't many, were just Neanderthal instruments. They sucked, for lack of a better term. They were just absolutely terrible. Okay? Now, Vacchiano, who is just totally absorbed with this big Germanic dark tone, obviously, use his words, called the pick a bastardization of the trumpet. Now, every pick that I played until I stumbled across the Shilky, and that was groundbreaking, and I'll get to that in a minute, it sounded like a freaking toy, except Maurice, God bless him, who had the greatest chops, right? And he made it work for whatever reason. Now, here's the deal. And that is what Vacchiano couldn't stand, the sound. It was all about the sound, and back then, now Vacchiano did a Brandenburg on an F trumpet, and if you listen to it, even by today's standards for even lower level players, it was not good. But an F trumpet back then, it was brilliant. It was just brilliant. Go ahead, try, and again, 50 years ago or more. Those F trumpets, they weren't great trumpets either. Try playing the Brandenburg on an F trumpet. I dare you. All right? So in that regard, even though it wasn't some recording that he's proud of, Mahler Fifth or something, it was a great feat on the trumpet. Okay, so Vacchiano, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I am, for all this stuff, over all these years, going from one mouthpiece to another. And to get to a 9 o'clock service at one of these cathedrals, I had to be up at like whatever, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay? Is that what I'm doing now? Absolutely not. Okay? Now, the reason for that, no question about it, is the 1SB mouthpiece. 1SB mouthpiece. Guys, now obviously it's half the size as I already talked about. But the blow is almost exactly the same. Needless to say, the mouthpiece is the same, so I'm not fudging around trying to get the feel right. Okay, so that just comes. The other part is the B flat trumpet, the Piccolo trumpet, feels like I'm playing a B flat trumpet. There is no feeling like I have to approach it a completely different way. That is the genius of these mouthpieces. Now, Jerry would talk endlessly about the balance. The balance is off. He talked about the balance a lot. And I'm sure that would be the deciding factor if he would come back and whisper in my ear and tell me why it's happening. And I don't know. I don't know. the cup, the rim, blah, 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 the shank. But, guys, and for Dave and all you other guys, just get your 1SB. Take your cornet shank, whatever it may be, and before you spend $5,000 to get a Piccolo trumpet, just go for with a buddy who has one and just noodle around on it. Bring a B-flat trumpet, play the trumpet shell sound on the B-flat trumpet, and then go over to the pick. Guys, that's the only way I can do it. And you know, it works for the E-flat trumpet beautifully. The C is ridiculous. All right? Guys, that is it's extraordinary. Extraordinary. Now, somebody like, whatever. All these guys, I don't want to talk about, all these guys that have their own brand. Well, they got the 1SB and the 1SC and the 1SS and the 1SQ and the 1XY. So if you're playing Piccolo, you got to get the 1SP in there, the 1S Piccolo. Guys, I get it. I get it. I've been there, like I just said. But you don't have to do it. The greatest mouthpiece for pick, E-flat trumpet, C trumpet, and B-flat trumpet. And, even though I don't play, so I'm not going to comment, guys, it is a great flugelhorn mouthpiece. Great flugelhorn mouthpiece. All right? It's on the website. If you want to contact me with more questions, do so. But it's the same as the B-flat, and I have two left. Wait a minute. I have one 1SB cornet shank and one 1SS cornet shank. Dozens of the trumpet ones. So whether you've got a trumpet shank or a cornet shank, I got you covered. I'll get it in the mail tomorrow if you need it. All right? The SFE book is on the website along with some other ones, and I got to go to the printer and get the juice cleanse on the other channel. Life's good, man. Life is good. Anyway, love you all. Have a great day. We'll talk again tomorrow.